And sorry, I don't know what's going on. Again, I'm not gonna even worry about setting up a new intro or any of that crap. I almost died right there again because of that crap. Hopefully it doesn't happen anymore. I mean, I can't call this in the middle of a boss fight. I just can't. It might end up being a short stream if it doesn't sort out. I don't know what's going on. Internet's just being janky as shit, apparently. Okay. Okay. Might end up dying on this one again. We got nothing left to hook onto. We almost got it down to its last ones. There we go. Now it shoots out slimy, goopy biomass shit. Okay. There we go. That's not good. Come on, reload. Reload. Oh, we were that close. Okay. Come on. We're getting there. Come on. Come on. Wonder what happens. You can't. It's almost dead. Just a couple more shots. That was it. Whew. We did it, though. That's a good thing. Whew. Even though it took the course of 3 failed attempts with streaming because of internet issues, we did it.
That sealed the fate of the 3rd World Eater. Just one more to go. Out of Date asked to see you again to congratulate you and let you in on the final phases of his plan. This is your chance to get his priorities aligned with yours. Do right by your tribe and the world at large. Just head back to the Ark. He seemed eager to see you again.
Wow, it just brought me way out here.
She wonders if the rumors she's heard about you finding the Ark are true. Thinks that's impossible, of course, but she also knows you regularly make the impossible happen. With the world recovering, the Ark would be a wonderful way to see it. So much faster than even her favorite Gnotes. Loves that you did your best to help the world rather than hurt it. You could have used much more of that, even before you returned. Any idea who might be joining you on your Arky journeys?
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the Ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
I wish you could opt out of this. I hate that this choice, like, why do we need a Gnote handler? But if I do this, I get a red point, and I'm trying to not get those.
Why? You don't need.
He says the same thing. I'll just skip through it. I think she was the last seat, though, is the worst part.
Feels deeply honored that you'd want her to come with you. An Ark is no Gnote, but she can't pass this up. She's coming aboard. Noko knows she's known for saying things over again. Says you'll meet again.
God. That was the last seat, which sucks. If I'm being honest with you, I would have chosen, like, I really would have rather had a couple other people on board. Not to sound mean or messed up, but the fact that a few of the people would have been useful. 3 of the last people I chose were not. I'm just trying to end this game on a good playthrough only. A full lot playthrough.
You don't get to wander below ground like this every day. Out of Date thinks the time has come to end the conflict between the tribes. There won't be any winners in this war. You should know it's not too late to change direction by visiting another tribe's fort. However, it might be best to stick with the tribe you've chosen already. He believes it'll take someone with a light perspective and key to counterbalance the Sifu's energy in the end. Regardless of the outcome, you need to play your part and conclude the conquest. It'll be over soon. Out of Date reminds you that the time has come to end the tribe war.
We'll try to get that finished tonight.
He's happy to help. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem.
We leveled up again. Okay. I think our charisma and luck is actually pretty good at this point. Our strength and vitality are pretty good. So let's make our move speed go up to kind of match those maybe. Why not? Let's look at our perks. "100% more damage?" Yes. Weapon-based ranged attacks from enemies have 10% chance to miss you completely, which sounds pretty nice. Armor and damage from melee attacks is increased. Your armor and damage from melee attacks is increased by 20% when you're at full health. Kind of like this. Make our evasiveness go up some. Let's check these out. Key Spark. Press down and input have the ability to, while facing enemies, shocked and take damage. You can already do the freeze. We'll try to save for the key spark, but if we don't make it, you know. Oh, wait, we're already too dark? How did we get too dark? I was going for full lot and somehow we got a dark. And to be fair, we're basically on a full lot. Basically. Not quite, but basically. The mud punch is kind of all of these that I'd really like to have. All these other ones, eh. Turtle form seems lame. This one seems really cool, but I don't know if we'll end up getting 14. I kind of want to upgrade our resistance again. We're no longer at 100% on resistance as we were at one point. I'm at least gonna do the biohazard. Like twice. Once, we'll do it once. If we need it again, we'll do it again. For now, I think we're okay. One more World Eater and 4 more Raveltrops. And there's no fast way to get to any of these. I haven't been anywhere to any of them. Alright, I guess we'll start with the closest one and work our way around. There's not a quest currently up yet for the next World Eater. So I guess we have to do this, and then we worry about the last World Eater.
Best part of this ride is it runs on green stuff.
I wonder what to expect over here. I wonder if this has got to be the cold region. We've experienced the heat regions almost briefly to none in the cold regions. So I'm guessing that's what this has to be. The Gnote can swim? What the hell is that? Maybe not though. Kind of looks plain. Although I have no idea how I'm supposed to get to this new area. It looks like it's seemingly on the other side of the mountain. I guess just run around the mountain. I don't know. Maybe.
That's the rumor. Go, beastie, go.
Poor Gnote. We'll summon it back. Y'all better! Okay, here we go. Earl.
You've discovered Fanaki leaves, the densest jungle in the land. Better get hacking. Well, that brick-brack looks almost intact. Worth checking out? Oh, there's some plasty plants up ahead.
No! Alright, Gnote tried to run off and leave us. We'll let it be. Hopefully it doesn't get eaten. And we'll try to go up to this trub.
Control your destiny, or someone else will. The Underfoot outpost, right where the Pichu tribe dug it up. There's the tyrant who runs this outpost. He didn't expect his tribe to lose, as they're the ones that are ruthless. But now that you're working with their rival, he can see why.
Let's persuade.
Needs a logical reason for him to surrender the outpost without a fight.
That's logical enough?
He can recognize the strength of a good argument and agrees it's for the best. He'll surrender the outpost to you. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger.
They gave you a lot of these creatures just like the goofiest looking teeth.
He says you did a great job capturing.
Just gonna skip through it. He says the same thing every time. Again, I talked about it last night. There's very few flaws with this game, but the rinse and repeat over and over and over, like some of the things they say after a while, it doesn't change. It's a little old, and at some point you're like, okay, I'll listen, and at other points you're just like, nah, just let's get on with it. This is same thing that you said last time. Try to find their little stable, see what kind of gnotes they have here.
Never stop growing.
If they have a different type of gnote, they may not. Some places do, some places don't. The hell? Freaking closet? Oh, they do have a different one. And I like it.
Says the shop hold. The vendor says hopes you're selling too.
Note? What kind of note? Bola. Gnote.
You got the best of that.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Look at this thing. It's so awesome. I like it better than the last one. Still miss our crimson looking Gnote though. That thing was so sick. This one is too. It has such an awesome jump. Now get up, buddy. Sorry. That was my bad.
Growl it into a higher gear.
It even seems faster. May not be. They all seemingly kind of seem the same speed, but
That old home's still relatively together. Never thought I'd see a twing. You need to give the tensioners on the machine head a matching adjustment to get the twing twang in tune.
that was easy.
That sounds delicious. You're full of pluck.
Twing twang.
Ooh, there's some rubber scrap for you.
What the hell?
Who could stand against that? A smart foe would lead. Atomic. Injured. Hot. Ouch.
Get out of there! That's cool. Oh man, let's wait for a second and let our health regenerate.
Every day is a new chance to fulfill your destiny.
Actually, give me just a moment. Take a very quick restroom break. And grab a couple drinks. I'll be right back.
Without the sun, it gets chillier.
Okay, we're very close to the next place. Very close. Let's see if we can get some bromies in here on the chat. Okay. 1,000 something. Okay, that's the way we
Nighttime
go.
is the better time for lots of things.
Going around the other way seems like the better option.
Might not need that now, but you will later.
Sorry, buddy. I know I just called you, but I know I just now kind
You
of found the
found the
entrance.
Moly Hole outpost, an old Pichu tribe hole in the wall.
The Moly. Looks like we might have a plan this time around, maybe? The entrance was over there. Whoa! What the hell? Where the hell did you even come from? What even are you?
Tapped hard. Says they've been waiting for you to help them liberate the outpost. They've scouted the outpost while they were waiting and suggests you have a look at what they found before entering. The scouts spotted a well being used by the outpost.
This again?
Mess with its filter, and you could sicken their troops. Claims they won't feel quite so much like fighting after that.
Gosh, I don't like... I think last time might have been that I really didn't want to poison their water. It's probably how I got the dark points, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Right between the eyes. Radiant. Wow, wow, wow. Boom, boom. It feels like an ancient dungeon down here. Get in there and ruin that filter. Just a few moves left. Make them count.
Still feels so dirty. Oh, fuck. That backfired on me.
Made it count. Roasted. That hurt him. Nice shot.
Took care of all of them. Very nice. Okay.
You could try living in harmony with what you can't see. You can do this. Now that's a flesh wound. Well placed. Top kill. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Got it. Nothing but greasy goo in their pipes now.
The thing I really don't like about that is just thinking about it's
Looks
not
like
just
the
the
outpost
troops.
found out about the bad water the hard way.
Like everybody, there's like kids.
The outpost
I mean-
belongs to your tribe now.
Just I don't know. Seems messed up.
He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. He says you did a great job capturing the outpost. Your says you
All right, let's just go take care of the last one. I don't really see a point in going through any more of this riffraff. Then again, I don't know. Let me just stop by the shops. Maybe be able to do some modifications if I figure out where they are.
easy to forget how dangerous this world can be.
Might be able to make some weapons stronger. I can.
That number doesn't work for you. You need more scrap.
Damn. Need a heck of a lot more wood scrap. I wonder. No, not what I was thinking. I was hoping I'd get some wood scrap, but I can't. That's alright. And I don't like their gnote. It's like a green original one. Kind of looks like our first Azure, but it's green. Which just makes it lame. Man, I love these gnotes. The ones with like the hooves or the antlers, not hooves. I guess they all have hooves. I don't really know. I do like the one we have now, though. It's growing on me even more. I might like it better than the last one that we had. That was my favorite. Not the very last one, because it was not my favorite. But the one before it, well, kind of technically the one before it was my favorite. I keep tossing that around, but it had that like red panda, like, I don't know, just a certain style to it. I thought was really cool.
You located the village named Loblidirk.
We'll be back some other time, maybe. Lovely Dirk.
Don't flinch away from this. It's your moment. You need to focus.
So this area over there looks like it's covered up in the, whatever the heck that disease is called. The pink stuff.
That there is a fume foundry where toxanol processed go juice.
That was odd. Did we just watch a drug deal happen? That's what it looked like. Oh, is this a mirage? It is. Sweet. Omar, welcome back. Sorry about the inconvenience earlier, Omar. Glad you can make it back, though. Bro, if you just made the Mirage go away, I'm gonna be pissed.
All fired up.
Oh, it's all good. Omar has... Random shit was going down, unfortunately, anyway.
Squint into the oncoming light.
Oh my god, it made the freaking Mirage go away. We don't get those all the time, and now it's gone. Wonder if it'll come back. I really hope so. Doesn't look like it though. Damn it, that sucks.
Get out of here. That's a nasty moto mess there. Maybe too gross for anyone else to thunder it.
Oh man, it's the Gnome that you gotta kill. Jesus.
You might want to fall back. Blistering.
Pocket change. I wonder where the beastie went down. It has to have loot. What do I do? It's something called case picker. What I do is I work for a facility that stocks Kroger. So, like, basically, I'll walk around the warehouse picking up different things. Like, we mostly deal with where I work in what they call unperishables. So it's mostly things like, let's see, like cereal, feminine products, diapers for babies,
with the light.
stuff like that. And the facility is roughly about 4 miles long, actually. And where I work, it's probably about 1.5 miles long. Maybe half a mile long. Or not half a mile, but 3/4 of a mile. Somewhere between 3/4 of a mile and half a mile long. But it's the same width. And I'm constantly walking through the facility all day long, driving and handling something called a pallet jack runner, and it's the biggest reason. Canned stuff, a lot of canned food, yeah, canned food, pickled food like pickles, peppers, olives, again, doppers, feminine products, chips, dehydrated food, freeze-dried food. A lot of laundry detergent, baby wipes, dog food, cat food, candy, stuff like that. Things that have a longer shelf life than a lot of most things and doesn't have to be refrigerated.
It's the Benearth outpost, right where the Pichu tribe dug it up. Says it's time to set the outpost free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to the rival captain.
I usually play Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Go does quite a bit. It shows me how many kilometers I end up walking, and I get perks for playing Pokemon Go as well.
Clarifies that rigging the odds in your favor in preparation of the takeover is one thing, but collateral damage is another. Here's the first line of defense. Careful of that Pichu. Hit it harder than that. Better to bring it down. Bullets from that.
Currently, today I kind of started looking into working for Uber Eats. Just trying to get some comparable pay rates, though. It's easier said than done. Switching jobs, that is, you know.
It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it.
I thought I was supposed to come in here. Okay.
Keep going.
We opened the door, but it doesn't look like anybody even ran through.
Heads up for that oil boiler. Stay away till you take that thing out. It's safe to get near now.
It was. So Omar, you gonna play the new Pokemon game when it comes out? The Diamond and Pearl remakes?
Here's the second line of defense.
Not until someone play it and see something. It's a letdown to you? Is it the graphic style they chose with the chibi characters?
Just jump on that candle and get it lit. Ride that sprocket. Almost there.
Not having a full dex or primal legendaries or mega Dynamax. Yeah, I feel you there too. Definitely a lot of different stuff going on.
The outpost belongs to your tribe now.
Big thing for me was the chibi style. I wasn't
Says you
into
made
it at
them
all.
Weaker, but they won't give up.
Take a very quick restroom break.
Your seafood thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Thinks you did a great job capturing the rival's third outpost, and believes the rival is weak enough to engage them at their fort.
Botham, of course, you bought every game since Black and White, except for Snap, because I thought the game would be... I mean, Pokemon Snap's not bad. I could see how you could get bored with it. I have it. I pre-ordered it. Played it on release. I haven't played the newest expansion though, so I'll see that. The game was fun to me. I didn't have a lot of nostalgic vibes like a lot of people do, so I feel like the game meant a little bit less to me than it did for other people. I played it on 64 back in the day when it first released, but when I was a kid at first, we didn't actually have a Nintendo 64 on release. We got it a few years later. And there was a lot of the actual exclusive titles my brother and I, we never got our hands on. You know, we were not very well privileged kids, so there was a lot of stuff we didn't get when we were younger. And a lot of that was, you know, the Nintendo 64 on release, obviously, and then a lot of the exclusive titles, like, they were pretty expensive for us at the time. Like, my grandparents, who we grew up with, like, couldn't afford to get us a lot of games. A lot of times we had to save our allowance, and it wasn't much. We went from getting $5 a week to $7 a week to $10 a week throughout growing up. And I was getting $10 a week when I was like a teenager for gas money for my truck. So there's that too. So we didn't really have a lot of money, didn't get a lot of money, didn't get a lot of allowance. So we didn't really get games a lot. And if we did, again, we had to save our allowance for those games. And occasionally, you know, we got some stuff like they bought us Game Boys on release. My dad actually got me my last Game Boy SP when it was close to release that Christmas year. We had an uncle that got us a GameCube. You know, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it literally is just taking pictures of Pokemon. If you need pictures of Pokemon, there's that too. You know, it is a different option. You are more active, and it's a lot less repetitive. I do play Pokemon Go. I played through Snap. Again, I haven't even played the DLC. To me, I liked the game. It was fun. The story of the game was pretty cool. Seeing something different. But I mean, I'm not gonna butter it up or sugarcoat it. The game is literally, yeah, you play the same levels over and over and over, taking pictures of Pokemon. That's what the original Pokemon Snap was too, though. So there's a nostalgic factor for a lot of people in that thought it was like extremely fun. Me, you know, my first playthrough of the new Pokemon Snap was fun though. I had a fun time with it. I really did. I can't say anything bad, but I could understand why anybody wouldn't like it too. Just to be fair on that end.
They all hope you can lead them to peace.
It's definitely not a game I'd recommend to people, though. It's like one of those games, you know? I don't think everybody would like it. Obviously, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Like I said, I thought... Oh, man, you got the moose... The moose dude.
The mighty jungle.
Nah, I like the one I got better. That is cool, but I like the one I got better. Stacy loves Pokemon Snap a lot more than I do, that's for sure. She's played the hell out of it. She's played the DLC. She's pretty much like maxed out all of her levels. She's trying to complete more of the quests. Mindless things I couldn't do. I think I just could not.
Could be a monster napping here at any time of day.
So what do you think about the
standing. Now, that's a find.
What do you think about the new Pokemon's Legend Arceus coming out? Oh, I feel you. No, I feel you. I was in the same boat, doing the same thing. I played the game through the story, enjoyed the story, had fun with it. I haven't picked it back up either. Gil? Hello, random Gil?
Happy to finally get to meet you. He's seen a lot of things wash up on his miniature shore, but nothing as exciting as you. Figures it's impossible. As bad as the air might be, the goo is even worse. It must have been upstream only to get to this point in your histo-future. But which way are you going now? With the flow or against? It's crazy hard to flipper against the surf, but you can't save the world if you let it sweep you away. Either way, it's a shame the surf has gotten so nasty. Think's life is like trying to ride a wave. You need to pick the right one, but you don't really know which one that is until you're on top of it. Better to ride a wave than let the perfect one pass you by. Seems to him that there's always another wave coming along.
You already pre-ordered? It's one of your Christmas presents? Yeah, the game looks sick. I agree. It looks amazing. Legends Arceus. I hope they do more games like Legends Arceus. Like, I'd like to see that become a more, like, common thing. Like, could you imagine? And I'd really, have you, before I get into this, did you ever play the Gold, Silver, Crystal, or Heart Gold and Soul Silver? Like, any of those five? Like, if you played any of those, I will go further with this. If not, you know, I could still go further with it. But, like, those 5 games especially, did you ever play Gold, Silver, Crystal, or Heart Gold and Soul Silver?
Can't imagine how wonderful it's going to be to surf on gooless goo. The world is going to live. Can't thank you enough for fighting against the goo. Happy you ride alongside the Myriad. They bring a real shine to everything they
Played
work.
half of Crystal. Well, the thing I get in is, see, with them doing Legends Arceus, which is really, really cool, I kind of hope they keep playing on that with games. Like, I really hope it does as well as I hope it will do. And I kind of keep hoping they play into that. See, the biggest thing I say to that is, and I would recommend actually, if you enjoyed what little bit of Crystal that you played, play Heart Gold and Soul Silver if you can get the chance. Hands down, one of the best Pokemon remakes they've ever done. I liked it better than Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I did enjoy Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I loved it. I really did. Heart Gold and Soul Silver were a little bit better though. It is so far, to my opinion, the best remake of a Pokemon game so far. But playing into that, if they kept the kind of Legends games going on, and they did Legends like Entei, Raikou, and Suicune, and played through like the Burning Tower, Entei, Raikou, and Suicune, or, you know, some people believe that it was a Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon that went in and fought these, and then all of a sudden they came out as these legendary beasts. Seeing that whole thing happen. It is a darker approach for Pokemon, but if you've watched the newest Pokemon movie, the Coco movie, the Coco Zarude movie, I can't remember the name of it, Coco Jungle, Zarude Jungle, something. I don't know. It's basically Tarzan, but it's Pokemon, but they have went the darkest they've ever went in any Pokemon film ever. There's a little bit of blood. The death happens. We won't go into details, but shit happens. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were really good. I'm not diminishing the games, but Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like, if you played those, they were at, like, the basis of Pokemon games, you know? The first remakes we had was Leaf Green and Fire Red, and I played Red, Blue, and Yellow when they first came out when I was a kid, and I loved them. But then we had, you know, Leaf Green and Fire Red, obviously, after we had the original Ruby Sapphire and Emerald. And those games were pretty cool, you know, but it was still the original. Everything was 2D, just the graphics changed, and it was full color. So, like, we had all these years of different games, but then when they made Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it was just like, so much was added. It was just like, oh my god, it was so awesome, and it still is. And I really enjoyed Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They did such a good with those, like, really good job with those games, actually. They had the Mega Evolutions and a lot of really cool stuff that was added into them. You could ride Latios or Latias around the map, which is really cool because those two are like two of my favorite legendary Pokemon and everything. But something that they did with Heart Gold, Soul Silver was just like so amazing, so good. And I would really like to see so much lore that is in Gold and Silver, because there's something that, you know, in the newer games, ever since, honestly, Diamond and Pearl, which we are getting that lore game to base on it, but after Diamond and Pearl, the lore kind of stopped. You know, after Diamond and Pearl, what was it? Was it Black and White? I think it was. And Black and White, I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Black and White 2 more, actually. And I thought they were good games, but the lore kind of stopped, you know? There was a little bit there, but it kind of... It's like they were branching out into just, like, building what's there, not what was. And, you know, they kind of kept doing that over and over again. You know, Sun and Moon, I think, was after that. And then X and Y. And they were good. But... Or was it X and Y, then Sun and Moon? I can't remember, but nonetheless, and they were good. But it was a lot less, again, of that what was and what is now. And the older games just had so much what was, you know, what was. And, you know, the last game to do that was, again, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, which, to be honest, is my least favorite of all the games, to be honest. And it's weird to say. I'm not that excited for Diamond. I'm going to play it. I'm going to stream it. The whole works. But it was my least favorite of the whole series ever. I like a lot of the Pokemon. I wasn't the biggest fan of the story. A lot of things. I could really get into that, and I'm not going to go too far, but... Rez! So glad you can make it. But it wasn't my favorite. But this Legends things that they have going on, I'd really like to see it happen more and more. I'd like to see a Legends again version where it's like Legends, maybe not Arceus, but again Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. Or maybe just Legends Burning Tower, or I don't know. Arceus is a hard one to play off of. I'm wondering how that's going to really work out, because we've got a lot of details, but nothing about the Legendary except for what's in the name, which is big and very confusing at the exact same time. Evolution 4 Legend. Got new evolutions you saw. Looks hella good. Yeah, I feel like you're talking. I think I know what you're talking about. Three legendary dogs are actually cats. Like is it the Vaporeon, Flareon, Jolteon thing? I was talking about that a little while ago, funny enough. But, I mean, they do kind of look like cats, to be honest. The only one that really does it, it's like Suicune, it looks kind of like a dog. Which everybody called them legendary dogs back in the day before they were the legendary beasts, so that I get that too. You know, when we were kids, they were the legendary dogs. But, yeah, or with the, like, the Legends, or... You talking about, like, the fish, the bird, what... Gosh, I wish I could remember the fish's name. I know, the bird was Braviaries of all form, wasn't it? I think? Or was it Unpheasant? I think it was Braviary. And then Stantler got an evolution, which is long coming. I feel like Stantler's needed one for years. Entei modeled after a lion. Raikou was modeled after a leopard. What about Suicune? That is the only one that actually did look like a dog. Even in, like, Pokemon Forever, it was like, oh! But I can't think of anything it could have been modeled after. I could see a lion, and I could see a leopard with those two. What is Suicune supposed to be? A snowcat? A dog smell, so you don't know. There is a legendary dog. The other two are cats. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy, though. It's kind of funny.
Thinks that's an excellent point. Riding is life. Work is not nearly as fun. But none of that's nearly as important as enjoying the day, right? He never drank from this pond because of the disgusting things done there.
Of course.
Even the fish stopped drinking here after the pollution made the surf mucked and the air blocked his gills. He figures the Tree of Life isn't drinking either. Or, well, that's not true. He said it does drink, as it has no other choice. It's a tree, but it's forced to drink poison.
I guess that's true. You know, seeing a Legends for them, like a Legends Kairuan. I could kind of see it. Also supposed to be a cat, but you don't see it. How, though? Why would Mewtwo be a cat when Mew is supposed to be a kangaroo rat? And he's supposed to be a clone of Mew. That doesn't make any sense. It's when they refused. I mean, I could kind of see it. I don't know. Like, the fusion thing really didn't happen till later on, though, when they had the DNA splasher thing, though. So, I could see it, but kind of not see it at the same time, you know? I'd really like to see a lot of the older ones, you know, come back, like, see, like, a Legends Rayquaza or a Legends Jirachi. I'd like that. Or a Legends, again, Entei, Suicune, or even Legends Ho-Oh, to be honest with you. Like, if we had to ignore Suicune, Entei, and Raikou, which I wouldn't want to, and I wouldn't even dare say ignore Lugia, but we could, and have just a Legends Ho-Oh, which has a lot less story than all of the legendaries in that whole thing. There's, like, the Sacred Fire, like, the Rainbow, Wing, which is the feather, which is weird they call it a wing, but, yeah, I don't know. There's just, like, so much in, like, the older games, which we have all this personification story with nothing ever in mind. Like, even a Legends Mew from, like, Red, Blue, and Yellow. Red, Green, Blue, and Yellow. Leaf, Green, Fire, Red. Like, Mew is another one. It's, like, a super legendary that we have. Like, the thing can just transform into any Pokemon, and we have basically little to no story on it. Legends Victini would also be pretty cool. I could see that too, yeah. Like, definitely. I mean, there's so much that they could do with the Legends games that I would really... Oh, sorry. That I would really, really like to see. See Mewtwo as a cat? Really? I mean, the only reason I observe the cat thing is because Mew was the kangaroo rat legendary Pokemon, so I don't know. Has an origin that 4Kids cut out of the first movie. There was that sequel movie too that they did, the first Mewtwo Returns movie. I used to have it on VHS. The original Japanese version. But yeah, there was two Mewtwo movies. There's an English version too. There was one I used to have on VHS, which was a sequel to Pokemon the first movie, where it did an origin on Mewtwo, where he was with Giovanni. And, like, I know you see glimpses of that in Pokemon the first movie, but, like, they played into it way more. And you got in the head of Mewtwo way more. Let's see if I can see what it was called. They had an English VHS version. I used to have it. Probably still do at my grandparents', to be honest with you. I think it's called Mewtwo Returns? Yeah, Pokemon Mewtwo Returns. It came out in the year 2000. Pokemon Mewtwo Returns, released in Japan. Pocket Monsters Mewtwo, Werewolf Koko ni Are Mewtwo Saga. December, it came out in December in Canada, December 4th, 2001. And in the UK in 2002 in February. But Mewtwo Returns, yeah, like, I used to have this actual thing, but, yeah, it did, a whole, like, playthrough as a sequel to the first movie. Legend Shaman? I don't know about that one. Shaman wasn't never really that cool. Mega Mewtwo Wild looks like a cat. It really does. I can give you that. Mega Mewtwo Wild looks cat-ish. Mega Mewtwo X does not.
Figures you're right, but that doesn't mean he has to drink that.
Yeah, it's true.
Gil says he feels like a fish out of water because of this, but understands he needs to make a change. He wonders if you know a safe spot, somewhere the water is still clear and unblackened. He says he's ready to get his fingers fished for this.
We do, actually.
He wants you to lead him to the edge of a place like that, where the surf is see-through, or at least, you know, drinkable. Claims to be moved as deeply as a riptide wave by the way you care.
Love the glow of the light.
Bump it up.
No. Down! Down!
All the way up. Crank that glow up to 11.
I'll make you glow.
Too late.
Gil says it's always a pleasure talking to you.
If there's clear water this close, why the hell am I leading him to it?
Don't let your mount ignore you.
What the fuck are these things? Sweet.
Ooh, biohazard like that will make you real sick. So much damage. Cutting edge. Play.
So Riz, are you excited for Shining Diamond and what I don't remember what the hell they're called. The new Pokemon games coming up.
How it ends is up to you.
Or the Legends games, you know, any of that stuff. We've talked about it a lot before, but we're getting closer and closer. How do you feel about the excitement for it? Get off here trying to get some sleep? Well, hopefully you get some good sleep. Have a great night, Omar. Also, thanks for watching. It's the Mirage God. I've got to do it this time. We missed the freaking last one. Freaking nearby enemies ruined that shit. We gotta do the Mirage. Here we go.
If you close your eyes hard enough to
This is one of your
reality,
favorite
your
generations.
mind opens to let memories in. That's one way to remember what's forgotten.
Holy fuck, this guy's got some strong ass moves.
When an unwanted memory intrudes on the mind, it is a natural reaction to want to block it out or just change it.
Well, we didn't win that one. The only one we didn't win. Holy shit, that dude just beat the fuck out of us. Did not expect that. I wish in those you actually got a lot of your ranged skills though. I think you're supposed to block and evade and try to parry with that kind of thing. You only get like one shot at it, but
However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different.
probably won't be open world like we thought it would be, by the way. I already heard that it's not going to be that open world. It's going to be open world to an extent, from what I've read and heard about, but I heard that it won't be as open world as everybody thinks it will be. I do think it will be open world, but it's going to be a set path game. You know, you have your center goal, and then you have these different regions that you unlock, getting more information, more goals. It's going to have a Pokemon Snap feature mixed with a old school Pokemon game feature mixed with a new style open world-esque feature. Kind of like Breath of the Wild, but still not Breath of the Wild. It also looks like these different branches branch off into certain things. Like one, you're going to have something else that works with that other current goal for each one. So, yeah. I pretty much already heard that, but for what it is and for what it's worth, I'm still really excited for it. It's something so different from any other Pokemon game we've ever had. Like, I am just completely okay with it, honestly. Like I said, it's something we've never had before, and I still think it'll be great. Oh, motherfucker, I did not expect to see you. Jesus Christ, that thing scared the hell out of me. You like direction games? Yeah, I mean, I'm hit and miss.
Don't get too
I could never imagine a
vegetation
Pokemon
out
game
here.
at the time we are at now to be like this.
Someone's lunch.
I would love it for it to be, but I know we're not there yet. I mean, as far as we went so far with Sword and Shield, I feel like that is the base of how far we're going to get for a little bit, but I'm okay with that too, though.
Gil clearly has his head above the surface now that his fish is in the water, and asks you to find and free the Pee-wee Gargantua from the bandits now that you're on a roll, saving surfing creatures. Gil says he feels he owes you something, but understands you have no time to spill as the fate of the world is at stake. But he's found lots of waste when exploring the land in search of clear surf.
How's it going, Sith? How are you tonight, Tim? Glad you can make it.
He's happy to give you the bearings when you have time. He's sure you'll find something of value if you swim that way. Says when the waters got so bad he didn't have any choice, but he waited too late to succeed. Without you, that is. Gil is always ready to help. Hopes to see you again soon.
What the hell? Pee-wee Gargantua. That is so freaking far away. Needless to say, we're not doing that tonight, probably. I'm gonna, however, grab a couple quick drinks, take a very quick restroom break, and we're gonna be on our last chapter of the knot. So how do you feel about, like, how do you feel? The closer we're getting, how are you feeling, Rez, about Endwalker versus the new Pokemon game coming up soon? Which one are you most excited about? And Tim, I know you were taking a break from Final Fantasy and you don't really play Pokemon, but which one are you kind of more excited to possibly see on the stream here? Because they're both going to happen.
Says daytime is the right time to get things done. Grateful you're on the same side. Team fixing the world. The dark makes a fine place to hide. Wonders why you haven't been to see Wiz. Don't you like Octopod? Feels you need to meet Lobo. A friend who knows a Gulblimp is always handy.
To worry.
Says you used to keep to yourself, but now at least you act.
Coventry Bidwich and...
Thrilled you finally met Gizmo. Says pay attention to him. He's a smart one.
Mein Freunde.
Says it's better to be holed up somewhere safe than to wander around at night. Make sure you don't walk off a cliff while you're night blind.
Technocratic.
Glad to have someone powerful on their side for once.
Endwalker, no doubt for sure on Endwalker as well. Really, both of you more excited. I can't blame you. I'm in the same boat, kind of.
Thinks you should find a good place to hole up until daybreak.
Gosh, I'm a little afraid of Endwalker. Is that bad to say? I partially don't know what to expect, which is slightly exciting, but like, oh, what the fuck? Get away from me, land shark! I don't know. There's just certain parts of, you know, all of that where I'm just, again, I don't know how to feel. I want to be super excited for it. I don't know what we're getting. I don't know how much of it we're getting.
For you.
Heard that a lot, actually. You think it's normal? I want to be ecstatic for Endwalker. I do. But we just lived through what Shadowbringers was. And was it good? Yeah, for sure. Did it leave me hanging in a lot of areas for a long time and even longer after its release? Oh, yeah, even more. And I don't know. I'm ecstatic, I'm excited, I'm also just, at the same time, I don't know how to feel. I'm hoping for the best, though. I mean, but Aftermath, Shadowbringers, that's what has left me in the position that I am now, where I just feel like I don't know. Am I excited? Yes. Am I ecstatic? Not really. I am just patiently waiting to see what we get. And hoping for the best. No game can be perfect. That's true. I mean, I don't expect any game to be perfect. Especially not an MMORPG. Especially not since we have lived through a pandemic for the last 2 years. So, I get that. I do expect quality content for something in a 2-year span, though. I mean, if I'm being honest, my return to Final Fantasy XIV was okay. I really loved going through the actual story. I expected more, though. A lot more. I did not like the conclusion of the Nier Automata thing. I didn't even finish it yet. I'm just expecting more. Hoping for more and expecting more. And I'm trying my best not to set my bar too high. That's where I am right now. Really trying not to set my bar too high.
It's a game of life. Yours and everyone else's.
It's a freaking fencing mask?
Don't know what that e-waste was.
Very disappointed with the Nair yourself. Yeah, I mean, it was, when it first started, it was great. The second part is pretty good. Last part, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was lame. I didn't even finish. I didn't even really want to finish it. Like, I stopped, and I haven't played the game since. I mean, I love Final Fantasy XIV, but I'm kind of just waiting for the new content. I don't even know if I really want to play through the weapons. The Emerald weapon was fun. The other one I played was fun. Ruby weapon was pretty cool. I don't know how to feel about after that, though. To me, I'm in that point where, like, there's 2 more, and I just don't know if I even want to try them out. Because even that story alone, we're playing the adopted children we never heard about from Xenosegalvis. Is it Xenosegalvis, or is it, I mean, I don't know. I can't remember if it was his dad, right? The adopted children? Xenos' dad's adopted children? Or was it his grandfather? I think it was his dad. Either way, like, I didn't even care for that story. We had no correlation to it. Near great game, Final Fantasy XIV raid, fun, but the story, yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, even, like I said, I like the first 2. The conclusion
The plague that's ruining
Boring.
the land
So
needs
boring.
to be stopped.
They went off rails way too far. I feel like they really worked with what's his name? I can't think of his name. The director, is it Yoko? It's not Yoko. I don't know. I know they worked with the director on the first two. The third one, I feel like it was just a dev team, and 14 it just wanted to bring it to a conclusion. To me, it just the conclusion was just Gaius and his adopted children. Okay, yeah, okay, it was Gaius. But yeah, I don't know. Like, we had Yoko Taro. Okay, I was thinking it was something like that. But yeah, like his adopted children. We had no correlation before this incident, and I feel like they were just trying to grasp for straws at content to bring out. They were like, "Oh, what have we not done?" And somebody was like, "Oh, the Final Fantasy VII games are coming out. Let's do something based on that." So they chose to do the Emerald weapons and its variants. Which, if you play those games, like, it's not as big as deal as like Final Fantasy XIV even let it on to be, unfortunately. But very truthfully, they're really not that big of a deal at all. Part of it is, part of it isn't. You just gotta play the game. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, especially with like the remakes coming out. I don't know what they'll change, and I don't know what people already know and don't know. So I'm not gonna get too much into that. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but it's not quite as big as a deal. And again, I feel like even the people in Final Fantasy XIV knew that, and then they instead of choosing to do anything else, it was just like, again, you know, Final Fantasy VII Remake came out. Let's like theme some new content / trial based around that, and I feel like that's really what they did. They didn't know how to do it, so they just gave what's his face some adopted kids you never heard of until then. And to me, that content's not the greatest still either.
They've been waiting for you. Taking control of this fort will bring peace between your tribes. The scouts have reported activity nearby that's worth looking into before you enter the fort.
I just really hope that, like, the new... Like, they've had so much time. And I know COVID's still been a thing. I just hope the new story coming up, the new build-up coming up, the new trials and dungeons and everything, that we just have so much content to blow through. I just really hope it's really good. I'm gonna have to eventually... Pretty happy that both 8-man and 24-man raids will be in Final Fantasy XIV original story content. I feel ya. I still have to work through my Eden stuff too. I still haven't done the last part of Eden. I need to catch up on it kind of soon, but I wish I was more excited about that. The last Eden thing, I didn't play through that story, but the last one that I did play through didn't excite me that well either. They were supposed to have all these elements from Final Fantasy VIII that kind of like... Parts of it are, and a lot of it isn't. I don't know. I know we have the new Minfilia. I can't remember her name now. That she didn't want to go by Minfilia anymore. Thing kind of going on. And like I said, I need to play through the last part. I think that's probably the only way I'm going to have armor that's up to par to start the new stuff in the new expansion. Which is kind of sad because Eden was pretty fun. I liked the first part. The second part was very meh for me. As far as the story goes, not the raids, just the story. I need to finish it up. I have not yet. I don't know. I know it sounds so negative, and I'm not really trying to be. I'm really not. Like, I'm really not trying to sound so negative. It's just, Final Fantasy XIV was something that I never played through and didn't think I'd ever get into, and then I found out that I loved it and played it for years, and then when COVID happened, it just shit all over the game. It really did. I get why and how, though. A lot had to be considered. A lot of people had to work from home. A lot of voice actors, were doing things from home. Made things a lot more difficult. But if I'm being quite honest, it made things less lockable for me as well, though, with the content that we actually did get out. Have you seen any of the changes? Oh, I am actually pretty excited, and I don't want to say discouraged. I'm happy for the most part. Well, that's the best way I know how to put it. I think seeing the Eggies not have to be around is a little different. Seeing the summons, I like the new rotation, and I'm afraid of it. I think that's the best way I know how to put it. And the fact that you have to work through all of it, I do like, so it doesn't matter, which I like that as well. But I feel like there's going to be a meta to it at first that's going to be an annoyance, if I'm being honest. So how do I feel about it? Mostly great. Mostly good. Mostly great. The meta about it that's going to happen with it at first and in the all the way up to the next patch, not great. Not great at all. I think it's really cool. I'm going to be able to adjust to it better than I thought it would. I've studied it very well, and I think it is going to be good, worth it, fun, and I like it. A little bit more technical, and I like that too. But that meta with that technicality that I just mentioned is going to be annoying as shit. There's going to be people who don't main Summoner, who don't play Summoner, who's going to look at one Reddit post that are looking at people's parses, and they're going to be like, hey, you're like 255 damage off. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you not summoning your, like, Titan and doing his mega attack in time? And are you not doing it in this order when it should be done in this order? And there'll be somebody else that says it's in this order when they've pretty much already said the order doesn't matter. You got to run through all of them. You just got to do it in the manner that you want to do it, but do it just right. And the part of it in the meta now that I could already see before the game's expansion has released is trying to keep your time set so you're doing all their signature attacks at the amount of time that you have to do them in. But that meta is going to change from those parsers out there, those people who parse and look for those minute changes and the slightest difference. Sometimes that slight difference does make a difference, you know, if you're running Ultimate or Extreme, you're time crunching and things are getting out of hand, and you just want to beat it before that last split second and the enrage happens. I get that. We've been there. But at certain points, I don't like playing a game where somebody's just mathing the whole time. It's like, bro, you're 2.8 seconds off. You miss one Titan attack. What are you doing? You're trash. You get out of here. You're kicked from the party, and then you're in Party Finder fucking... what's the word I'm thinking of? Party Finder, my mind's gone blank. I'm starting to get tired. Purgatory. That's what I was looking for. Theme with job changes across the board. If you fuck up, it will be noticeable. Yeah, I mean, it's because so many people in the rise of parsing. Like, people sit there and look at your damage, like, constantly. And, yeah. And from a slight fuck up and just getting kicked out of a party, and then you're back in the purgatory of Party Finder, it's brutal. It's one of the things that's ruined, like, parts of Shadowbringers for me. Like, the increase of population in Final Fantasy XIV is nice. Very cool. We get more content, we get more players, we get a lot of added things. With that, though, you get people who are looking up hacks and things that aren't supposed to even be part of the game, like parsing, and they're doing that, and it creates that meta, you know, that personification of what this game is, which it isn't supposed to be, but it's what they created. And to people who are just trying versus people who've like no-lifed the game for like 18 fucking hours doing the same thing, like, no, Raj, you're down 255 attack points on this. Go back to Purgatory. It's just, it's a bit much for me. Cooldown changes to 60 to 120 seconds with most abilities. if you get off, you'll stay off compared to syncing up with your party. I don't know how to feel about a little bit of it, really.
They've managed to roll a bang ball against the fort, and the plan is to detonate it. However, you need an inextinguishable torch to do that from a distance. Figures a plain torch will snuff out when it's thrown, so you need to add some boom powder
We
to
did
make
this
it inextinguishable.
already. Nothing new, just a different area. But I don't know. I'm still hoping for the best. I'm really hoping the meta doesn't get set up so bad that it makes it unfun. I'm really hoping that a lot of these newer World of Warcraft players don't come in and ruin it. I don't know. I don't know how to feel, really. That's basically my best way how to explain how I feel, is the fact that I
just see a fish flop by.
Don't know how to feel. And just hoping for the best, again, is my best way of, describing things. I'm really just hoping for the best.
Molecule.
Making it easier? Yeah. I mean, easier in some ways can be better too, and sometimes easier can make everything even more worse.
Shouldn't take much.
So that's another way to really feel about it too, which sounds backwards from everything I just said, but it's very true. Sometimes making something easier only makes things worse for others. Not that it makes the game bad, but sometimes if they're sitting there trying to make things easier, for some people it makes it less fun. My best example for that is what was it called? Gosh, I can't think of what it was called now. We ran through it a few times for our upgradable weapon in Stormblend. What was it? I know you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the name right now, though. Gosh, what am I thinking of? Like I said, it was our last raid content where we were trying to get our upgradable weapon. What is it? Gosh, I know you know what I'm talking about. I wish I could think of the name, and I cannot right now. Oh god, we're gonna die. Relic weapons, yeah. The one before Shadowbringers. What was that called? Eureka, that was it. Like, there was people like me who hated Eureka. I still hate Eureka. I think it was garbage content. I did not like it. There's people who loved it. They thought Eureka was freaking genius. And then we had this new, like, relic weapon thing come around. And I was into it at first. The new parts of the new relic weapon was so good to me. I was like, yes. This is what the first part should have been. I like this. This is good content. Like, this is what it needs to be. I can do this. I'll enjoy doing it. And we'll actually be able to get our relic weapon upgrades. All of them have fun doing it and not have to worry about it getting bland, boring, or just out of hand. And feel like I'm not going to be able to catch up to anybody. And it was at first. It was just that. And then all of a sudden, there was all these fans of Eureka and previous, like, fans of other relic weapons. So we're like, oh, it's too easy. It's too mind-numbing. We got done with it so quick. It was just stupid. like, just so many people stuck at home from cause of COVID, I understand, but a lot of it was just like so much negative things. And they're like, why isn't it Eureka again? When all the other actual people who mostly do relic weapon stuff is like, Eureka was fucking stupid. Like, why do you want to grind that much for something? Like, you gotta have a normal life. Like, I get it, it's an MMORPG, but you gotta live too.
Right?
Like, but there was so many people that complained that they legitimately turned the last part, or last 2 parts, maybe even the last 3 parts of this last relic weapon shit into Eureka all over again. It's like, oh, it's not Eureka. It's kind of Eureka. And then it was Eureka all over again. Like, I don't know. And it kind of sets up that meta again I was talking about, but also it brings into that thing where people are like, we're inviting new people, we're turning down the difficulty. In some ways it's cool, but in some ways it does that to certain people, with the people who's played it for years. Like, this is just stupid. I played this for years and now it's lame because you changed it for newer players. And then things change because they have to complain so much that they just like want to turn it back into a grind fest because people have nothing better to do. And they just want to complain. That sounds so negative, and I'm not trying to. I'm really not. These are just like a lot of my actual opinions on a lot of that stuff, though. I'm excited for the new expansion. I love the story. I love where it's going. I'm very curious. I kind of think Grahati is about to die. Pretty sure he's about to. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I am very, 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 very sure Graha's gonna die soon. Do I want it to happen? No, not at all. Do I think it's gonna happen? Yep.
It's time to set the rival tribe free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to their Sifu. Clarifies that rigging the odds in your favor in preparation of the rival's fort is one thing, but collateral damage is another.
Parts that Save the Queen you liked, but parts you didn't like. Holy fuck! These guys can do some damage. Jeepers. What was the Save the Queen? Like the raids are fun? Oh, like the, I think you're kind of agreeing with me with what I was saying, maybe? Oh, no. Please, let's not die. I didn't mean to make you jump off the edge! Having a Grand Crystal Tower, Heaven's Ward Fates, and 24 Mans was not fun for you. See, that's the stuff I'm back to saying where... What is the difference between the Eureka and stuff like that? Sure, you're not in the same place. And those parts that were fun to me as well. I had to clarify that at the beginning, me saying a lot of that. But again, there was a lot to me that was just... I don't even want to just say not fun, it was just unethically... Like, one, let's just be fair. COVID was a hard time for all of them, so instead of making new content, they made you grind an ass ton of old content. We really can, but that's just the name. Yeah, I forgot there for a little bit. newer players. I get that too,
You're cut off from the world above.
but you still didn't like it. Exactly. And it's not just that not liking it, it's older players can't get newer players to play content so they can run through certain dungeons. I'm right there with you. I get that too. There's a better mitigation for that too. One was the random like duty fonder stuff that we did every day too. I get it, that plateaus after a while as well, so people don't get that as much either. But be that as it may, being a veteran player, sometimes you don't want to do something 99 times, and this is me going in on the grind for mounts. Is why I stopped doing extreme content. Maybe I'd beat it the first time and just stop there. Like, I got tired of, like, after I did so many of them, well over, like, I did Byakuya 99 times, and I'm never going to forget that. I did Byakuya 99 times, and got all of Byakuya stuff. I got the weapons, I got the mount, I got the cub, I got everything that you could possibly get from it. And that's the one that kind of started ruining it for me. But then the Shadowbringers content came in, and I still to this day do not have a single dragon mount from Shadowbringers. And I did, like, I can't tell you how many times I did the end game boss. I can't even remember his name now, or the fairy boss. I can't remember its name now. I did those so many fucking times, and not one drop. No, I didn't hit 99, but I didn't really want to either, and that became lame to me. I get RNG, I get not doing things at certain times, but pushing somebody to do it 99 times before you can get something, it's a bit much. And again, I know it's to keep the rotation going for new people to jump in and the older people to keep going with it, but I don't know. Titania, yeah, that was it. See, and I was in the same boat. Like, there's just so many of those. Like, you keep doing it so many times where you at first it's worth it, and then once you've been there like 99 times, and I can't ever forget that I did that with Byakuya, and I'll never forget that. At that point, you're through with it. And then you think of all these other mounts, it's like, oh my god. And if I want to do all these others, I could potentially have to do them 99 times too because of RNG. It saps the life out of you, to be fair.
Just get out of the Megamuck's way.
I don't know, I hope they fix some stuff like this, you know, stuff that I'm mentioning now. It's never going to stop me from playing Final Fantasy XIV, but it's going to make me want to stay on the story more and less on the other content. Still need to get 3 dragons. Good luck's all I gotta say. Good luck. And I hope the best for you.
Your reserves are...
Diamond Weapon gives 2 totems for whatever reason. Probably for the reason we were just talking about. The senselessness, mindlessness that comes with everything else.
right where it cuts.
Wait until they add them to the Moogle treasure trove. Yeah, honestly, That is one thing I can say they do with that in Final Fantasy XIV that makes things a little bit more approachable. They do give you other opportunities later on. You just gotta wait them out.
Good stuff.
But yeah, the grinding for mounts is something, again, after the whole Stormblood thing, and I tried my best in Endwalker as well, but Endwalker actually ruined it for me, really. Stormblood, it was a lot of work. It was, and I got a lot of them. I still don't have all my birds and probably won't. But Stormblood was a big work for a lot of the mounts. I got a lot of those dogs. But when Shadowbringers came around and it was that much worse, I was just like, I don't feel like doing this. This is not fun. I could sit here all night and do this 99 times and I still might not even get it, kind of thing. And just, I don't know. Don't feel like doing... You've never done Emerald Weapon? You just don't feel like trying? I mean, I don't blame you. I'm in that same boat with a lot of that stuff. I didn't feel much pressure or value in doing a lot of the weapon stuff. Again, that was story that they added for whatever reason. I'm guessing still because of Final Fantasy VII Remake. And that story that they added just didn't feel necessary to me. Like, it's what's-his-face's adopted kids we never heard about until, like, literally then and there. I don't know.
The wire claw looks like it's strong enough to pull down a gate. But you just need to aim straight, shoot and pull, and the gate will come down. The Pishu tribe supports natural evolution on the dogma that only the strong survive. They want to help evolution on its way by conquering the tribes, as they're all too weak in their convictions. Anybody home? He didn't expect it would go down this way. It'll be hard to talk your way out of a fight.
Well, they're running out of Final Fantasies. They're gonna have to get some creativity soon. Not really. Like, I can already tell you right now so many things they haven't done. Let's go to Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles for one. That would be the perfect relic weapon thing. Like, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles works out as you're driving a caravan through a certain area, and you meet Moogles along the way, and you help Moogles out in different ways, mostly cosmetic ways or helping their housing, but mostly cosmetic. There's that. They could ignore that whole feature. Or play into it on a different way, but you could ride a caravan with 4 people. Perfect amount to be able to do things. Heaven on High, House of the, or, is it House of the Dead? I can't remember what it's called. It's been so long now, and I feel so bad. But literally, that same format that they could use. 4 people, not an ass ton amount that you have to worry about everybody working together, and if they don't, they just die. Which you have that same format, but a smaller amount of people, it's easier. You can just get your friends together and do it that way. Better content. Okay, so like, they could do a Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles raid content base where you ride in a caravan. Maybe you don't do the Moogle thing, but there's this concept where you have an item, mostly we'll call it a totem or a relic or basically a vase that you carry with you that you drop, and that is your attack base. Instead of getting outside of that, which you can, but you'll slowly die. The better part is to draw them into your attack base and kill them there, instead of branching out. And there's something like that. And then there's like, it's not even just the spin-off games. It's like Final Fantasy IV. That's something they've done a little bit with, but not a lot that they could do things with, you know? Or Final Fantasy VI, which they barely touched. They did Magitech. That's kind of all they've done. Final Fantasy IX, they've done nothing in the lore of Final Fantasy IX other than like Black Mage-esque stuff. You know, Final Fantasy VIII, they've only done the Eden stuff for the most part. There's a lot they haven't done. Final Fantasy 13 in general, they've had an event. Final Fantasy 15, they've had an event. A lot of stuff they have not done yet. I mean, Final Fantasy 11 alone, it was the other MMORPG. They're literally like their their little brother or little sister. There's so much they have not done or scratched the surface on that they just mostly want some Final Fantasy 13 references, bosses. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see it too.
There's no way he'll surrender to threats. He recognizes the strength of a good argument.
His
and
voice
agrees
changed
it's
as well.
unless
Jesus.
He'll surrender the fort to you.
There's a lot they haven't done, though. Like, a lot. Even 12 in Tactics. Sure, they did a little bit of it in some raids, but let's be fair, they barely scratched that surface as well.
The destiny of their tribe is in your hands. You are free to choose their fate, but not free from the consequences of your choice.
You thought Valsy would be dope? It would be. We're seeing, like, some spin-off story where people are, you know, like, not, you know, completing their, what was it called? It was an assignment. It wasn't goal or assignment. Completing their... What up, Purple? I also have people watching on Twitch. I stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. But, hey, Purple, thanks for jumping on YouTube as well. But, yeah, I mean, like, the whole, what was it called? I have not played 13 in so long I forgot what it was called. They get that, I don't know. And then, I know if they don't get with that expectation, they turn into, like, the Falsy and everything, but, Jesus, I wish I could remember it better. And if they complete it, they turn to the Crystal, but...
He'll leave it up to you to decide the fate of the rival Sifu, but suggests you be merciful. Do good.
Their focus, yeah. The focus, that's it. The focus. But again, even if, like, in Final Fantasy X, they, like, never even, like, did a lot of content in 14 for 10 either, which is also something that made me kind of super sad about. Like, I love Final Fantasy X, and that... Honestly, I feel like there is the least amount of content in Final Fantasy X and all of Final Fantasy XIV of all the games. They have Final Fantasy 1 references, they have 2 references with Red Rose and all kinds of stuff, they have 3 references with the raids, 4 references with the raids, very little FOV references, very little FOV references, very little 8 references, but we did get this new raid, so I can't say that too much, very little. But for the most part, like, if I had to say a lot, very little, like, Final Fantasy V references, very little Final Fantasy IX references, very little Final Fantasy X references, very little Final Fantasy XI references, very little Final Fantasy 13, and very little Final Fantasy 15. Like, a lot of that. There's, like, a whole plethora. And then the spin-offs as well, you know. They did do Tactics. If I have to say anything with, like, the whole, like, stuff they did with the Evilly stuff in Stormblood, it was more focused on Tactics than it ever was on Final Fantasy 12. They share the same universe, so if I'm being most honest, it was mostly Tactics than it ever was 12. 12 kind of plays into it too, if you like that lore and reference and everything. But those games that just mentioned, and then other spin-offs after that, like, there is, like, little to no things that they have ever done for those games.
Thinks it's a good gesture to offer support to others when you can see that they need it. And with that, you're spinning your own fate, good or bad, never to be undone. Side by side they'll stand until order and stability is reinstituted. They've achieved a great thing for the tribe and the land by winning the war, The other tribes will see your side of things with time. Uniting the tribes was a big step on the way, but saving the Tree of Life is crucial if you want to make everyone know the bright side of life again. When you first met, the world was divided and filled with fear, but you've come a long way on your path towards a world ruled by truth and justice. He says it'll take some time for the tribes to come together as one, even if the tribe war has ended. Saving the Tree of Life will be a task you have to tackle on your own. You know better than anyone that the fate of the world is still at stake. You need a world where everyone is guided only by their conscience. The fate of the world depends on the triumph of good. The Tree of Life still stands, and it's up to you to make sure it does so all the way to the end.
I guess that's true. Unless the game freezes up like I think it just did. Not quite. Thank goodness. Six point oh is the beginning of and end of Endwalker. A brand new story. Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I wonder what the last World Eater is going to be. The Pichu Tribe. They really love Pikachu's pre-evolutionary form. The dragon.
It's the Pichu Nanchuk.
Nunchucks? Really? I have not liked a single one of these.
You could make a home here.
The tribe weapons just kind of just awful. But yeah, you know, I'm kind of curious on what's gonna happen with the new stuff and everything. I don't know. You got a little while to find out for sure. We got to return to out of date, and after that, we're gonna see what the last part of everything is. The last branch travels over here. So this right here is what I think will be the last beastie we have. Like, we fought the one down here. To the bottom right, top right. The last one would be like right here. And I don't really know what that World Eater will be, so I'm going to take a very quick restroom break, grab just a couple more drinks, or a drink, honestly. It's a little late. I'm getting tired, and a little hungry too. So, give me just a little while, a little bit. Let's actually get out of here. But yeah, like, what is something like Rez and Tim, if you're still here, or anybody, you know, watching and listening, you know, the works, what are you looking forward to with Endwalker coming up, and what are you not? What are you afraid of, and what are you excited about? These are all things I would really, really like to hear, honestly, because I have my own thoughts, and then, you know, I'd like to hear yours as well. I'm gonna do my fast travel here. We're gonna work through this save screen, but yeah, what about those things? You know, your fears, your likes, your dislikes. Give me just a moment. I'll be right back. Excited for Reaper and the new changes to your already main class. In the story, obviously. The story is me as well. That's what I'm most excited for. Not really a fear. Low expectation for better world content and better PvP as well. Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat on that too. Low expectations, not just like on, you know, my low expectations, just content in general. You know, I know the story. I'm very excited to see more with the story coming up. My low expectations are how much of it we're gonna get right off the bat. These last few patch updates, which they were patch updates, so I understand. I'm trying to keep that in mind, but they were very disappointing for me. So there's that. So with that being said, on how you feel about Final Fantasy XIV, and I can relate on that as well. How do you feel about the new Pokemon games? Both of them. You know, not just Legends Arceus, but also, you know, the actual Dominant Pearl. I know you're more excited. You've already said about Endwalker. You want to see that story, but what is your pros and cons, fears, not fears, things you're looking forward to, things that you think are dumb or not looking forward to in the new Dominant Pearl remake?
Out of Date says there'll be consequences of the war, but there are more pressing matters at hand. The last World Eater has been left undisturbed with the tree while you focused on the war. He thought someone with your light perspective and key would have had different priorities and faced the World Eaters before resolving the tribe war.
You told me to resolve the tribe war.
Regardless, Out of Date is grateful the tribe war is over. Out of Date understands the road has been rough, but you already know what's left to end this journey, and it'll be tough. You're the only one that's strong enough to face the last World Eater. The future depends on someone with a light perspective to give the world a chance to survive. Only time will tell what the future holds, and if it will bring a lasting peace for those that make it to the end.
I feel like both games will be great. And there's been a lot of controversy and thoughts about them, but you think they'll be better? Don't really have cons for Pokemon. It's Pokemon. I feel you.
Out of Date says the word about what you've done so far is spreading. The tribes haven't lost hope yet.
Dare I say my only con for the new Dominant Pearl is the fact that it'll be so OG that it will not feel like a remake. That is my only con. And I feel like for it to be outstanding for me, when I say outstanding, that if I don't think it's outstanding, I don't think it's good. I will enjoy it. I will. I enjoyed the original Dominant Pearl. It is my least favorite of the series. I still enjoyed it though. So I wish it would stand out more. One thing I've already seen that already stands out, which I'm excited about, is the fact that they didn't go the HM route back in the day like they used to. You can call upon wild Pokemon to use the HMs, which is really, really, really cool. The only thing I don't like, I'm not that happy about the RNG coming back with the random Pokemon battles in Tallgrass. And I already heard they're not doing that either. I already heard that the whole Sword and Shield decks won't be in this game. I don't know how true that is, but I did already hear that is a huge thing that most people have tried to data mine and have found out that it will not be a full dex again. It will be a par dex. I don't know how true that is. It has not been released by the Nintendo company yet, but that is what I have heard, that a lot of the Pokemon will not, from Sword and Shield especially, be in Dominant Pearl remakes. I don't know how far they're going in the decks. I have not heard that. But I did hear it's not going to be a full Dex as well. So and again, I don't know if that's true. You know how these leaks go. They are freaking insane. But I did hear that it is not going to be a full Pokédex though. And again, I don't know if that's 100%. But I'm willing to say that, you know, most of the leaks that I do hear usually 75 to 99% accurate. Not always, but most of the time they really are.
He appreciates what you've done so far.
Probably
but
true.
Unfortunately, he's had urgent news from his friend Wiz in the northwest. He's unsure about your intentions, but hopes you'll support Wiz. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Wiz and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you.
The last one right
That
here.
doesn't sound good. Out of Date's hunch is real. The Merc Puff is up next.
Merc Puff.
Out of Date says that Wiz is worried now that the Northwest World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Wiz is working on an undersurf vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out of Date suggests that you should head northwest as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. Understands you have other places you need to go.
We gotta level up. We'll go ahead and place our stuff. Kind of good on luck. Let's place it in strength. It's something I've been really wanting to really get up. And with that, I think we're gonna stop for the night. I'm very tired. I'm hungry. I'm also ready for a little bit of a rest. So, a lot of Pokemon, you just want your favorites, and I understand. I'm usually in the same boat. Thankfully, my favorites kinda just wiggle their way in there for the most part, thankfully. But I get that too, you know. But for now, I'm gonna have to call it here. I'm very tired. Again, I'm getting kind of hungry again. And hopefully you can catch me tomorrow now. I'd really, really like that. And tomorrow, hopefully you can catch the video I'll be putting out. I talked about it last night and a little bit at the beginning of the stream, but tomorrow I have my first video coming out in a while that is not a live stream. I will be posting it tomorrow and we'll be streaming tomorrow, not as well, but tomorrow I'm going to be posting a stream. It will be my first non-live stream in a while. The only place you can catch it will be on YouTube, and it'll be a cheesy one. I've talked about cheese through more hours on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, or all of my streams basically, than I am proud to say, and they will come to fruition tomorrow. You can catch that video tomorrow before tomorrow night's stream. Hopefully you can watch it. I'd really appreciate it if you did. It will be, again, the cheesiest, and I mean, I'm talking real cheese, video I've ever put on YouTube. And yeah, I really hope you can watch it. It'll be nice, it'll be enticing, it'll be cheesy, and hopefully you can watch that. I will be streaming again tomorrow night as well, live, but also I'll be putting out this video, and again, the only place that you can watch it is on YouTube. So if you don't already like, subscribe, and follow on YouTube, and hit that little ringy dingy dingy bell, please do. It's the best way to catch it when I actually do these videos, and I'm about to start doing a lot more. Again, I've been talking about the last few days. I've been streaming for fun the last few years, and I'm trying to now make this my full-time career. I really want to be able to do this full-time, and if you could help me out by catching all these videos, liking, subscribing, following on Twitch, following on YouTube, subscribing on Facebook. I said that all wrong. Following on Twitch, and Facebook, subscribing on YouTube, liking on all platforms that you can, just everything, sharing when you can, if you would really, not mind, just want to help me out. I'd really appreciate that. I'm trying my best now to not just make this for fun, but to make it my career. I would very, very, very much like that. And I would love to bring a lot of you on my way. Again, I talked about it last night to everybody that is mods, that has helped me out for all these years. I would love to make this your full-time job as well. Not just mine, but yours as well. Where I'm not the only one sitting here and just trying to make this my career, but to make it yours as well. I'd love the mods to be able to make an actual proficiency off of everything that we do as well. To be able to chill with me and have fun, and, and have our chats and talks, but also make a profit off of it, just like I do. I would love that for me and for you. And I'm really trying to push that. And if anybody wants to be a mod or is interested in that along the way of our new travels, is what I want to call it, to the in succession of our journey, I'd love to have you on board. I really would. And but for now, I'm gonna call it. I'm very tired. I'm sure you're tired. It's late, and I need to get some rest. I have to actually go get a COVID test tomorrow, and also I really want to film that next video tomorrow, which I think we'll all enjoy. But until then, till next time, I am out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. Good night to you. Have fun. Take it easy. Thank you so much for all your support and for watching. But until next time, I am most definitely out of here. I'm tired beyond all belief, and I will be back on here tomorrow doing more Biomutant and hopefully getting that video out. We've got everything in our possession to be able to do so, so hopefully I can. The GoPro here completely charged, ready to go, and ready to bring this bad boy back out. I have not got to use this camera in almost a year, and I'm so glad to be able to bring it back out of retirement. But until then, till next time, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, but until then, I'm out of here. Good night, take it easy, have fun, have a great night, and whatever else you have going on, I really hope it goes well for you. But good night, everyone. Sleep well. Also, Tim. And all the love back at you, Tim. I'm glad you can't wait, Rez. But till next time, I'm out of here. Good night, everyone. Take it easy. Have fun. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, till next time, I'm out of here.